Hello, and welcome to me being weirdly obsessive over any random detail in the Soulsborne series. So today we're going to be figuring out where to get every single miracle, sorcery, and pyromancy in Dark Souls 3. We're starting out right where you get dropped off after the Vort fight, and I don't know how to edit yet, and I don't have anything for it, but I don't want to spend an hour and a half just mowing through enemies and bosses, so what I ended up doing is going all the way through and just killing all the enemies and then coming back. And this is Yul. He's kind of semi-important a little bit because he sells you some sorceries, but you're going to get someone dedicated for sorceries later. But either way, he's an NPC that you can get, and he's got a whole quest. So, might as well pick him up, because there's no reason not to. And again, cleared out most of the enemies, all the ones that we're going to be running into, so doesn't matter. And for the sake of simplicity, we're just going through the right side across the bridge. And there are a few things you're going to have to do between getting past the Vort fight and being able to do all of this. Like, part of that is getting the Mortician's Ashes, and that'll allow you to buy a key for what we're going to use in a minute. But until then, Cornix. And just like Yul, he's going to head off to Firelink Shrine, and he'll teach us pyromancies. And from here we can just drop down and continue through here. Now, here you need to get a key. It doesn't cost much, it's only 1,500 souls, but it allows you to open that door, and that allows you to get into this little underground section, which there's some items here. There's a weapon, there's a shield, there's some upgrade materials, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for magic. And all the way at the end of this tunnel underground section, we're going to get our third NPC, and someone who's dedicated to miracles. And it's going to be Arena of Kareem. And she is right around this corner. Hello. So she's in the middle of having a panic attack. We're here to calm her down. For some reason. And she goes to Firelink Shrine as well. And then Morn. And he's got his own quest. Might as well pick him up while you're there. And you can go up. There's some important stuff if you go up. But again, not what we're here for. We're here purely for magic. And it is going to be one very long run. And you get to the Road of Sacrifices. And oh boy. I killed all of the enemies here and in Cathedral the Deep. So the enemies being alive here is not a good sign. But, oh well, we can just run past him. Now, here you actually drop down. And you can get a Divine Tome. And we're going to be giving that to Arena for some extra miracles. And then you can drop through here, and that allows you to continue on. And you're very free to just ignore the enemies, assuming you have the stamina and can dodge. Which we're gonna do, because I don't feel like killing everything again. Because that was a lot of work. But, nope. I was gonna say, hopefully the crabs stay dead. They did not. But there, you get a Pyromancy Tome. You can give that to Cornix, and that'll teach you some more Pyromancies. And if you don't know where everything is, if you haven't gone through this game an exhausting amount of times, this area can be confusing, but that was in the back right. And if you just follow the left side, you'll get back to land and you'll get back to this section. And there's a little hole in the wall that you can run through. And you can ignore all these guys. And coming through here and going left, there's a little side section. And you can come in and you can get this guy, Orbeck.
How very well. In how that in the well. Very I am.
And sometimes you'll actually just flat out say no if you don't have the intelligence requirement. I think it's 10, so it's not that high, but here you get Crystal Sage. Kill them, their souls are going to be important for sorcery. Yeah, like I said, I went through all of this, killing every single enemy. Kind of tragic that they're all back. But that's whatever. We can keep running through. Now from here, you can just follow the path up to the Cleansing Chapel. It's basically a straight line. You can't miss it. But you gotta go through some stuff here. And eventually... Not this one. Eventually you'll come across an elevator that you can go down, and that allows you to get through there. And you can take that to get a shortcut, and we can now take the shortcut. Really don't want to show the whole run through. But then we can come through here, and there's some more enemies. There's normally a giant here that like slams the ground, does a lot of damage. You should watch out for them. But they're one-time only enemies, so kill them once and they're gone forever. Which is why they weren't here while the everything else was. But there's just a few basic enemies. They're pretty easy to take out. But once you go to pick this up, that thing drops on you. But here you can get Seek Guidance. It's a miracle. It's not super useful. It allows you to see summon signs without being embered, but it doesn't let you summon anything. And then here, there's a mimic. And this mimic is going to be important for later. Not yet. Not for much farther into the game. But it gets us a Braille Divine Tome. And once you go through the rest of the area, and you get to the end, you can kill Deacons of the Deep, and they're also important for something. And then you can come back to Fireling Shrine. And with the Handmaid Shrine, or the Handmaid, you can get Soul Arrow, Farron Dart, and Heal Aid. You can get these 3 right off the bat.
Ashen one.
As soon as you get here. And then down past Grey Rat, you get Yule.
Oh, the impart.
And from him, you can purchase Soul Arrow again, if you want. You can purchase Heavy Soul Arrow, Magic Weapon, and Magic Shield.
Be safe.
And then you can head off. And Orbeck.
Oh, you can get that.
Very soon we're going to get 2 tomes for him. But you can buy a 3rd Soul Arrow if you want. You can buy Great Soul Arrow. You can buy a 2nd Heavy Soul Arrow if you want. Great Heavy Soul Arrow. Another Farron Dart if you want. Soul Great Sword. Farron Flash Sword. Another Magic Weapon. Another Magic Shield. Spook. And Oral Decoy.
Come again.
Then,
I want that.
for Mr. Pyromancer, right off the bat, you can get Fireball, Fire Surge, Great Combustion, and Flash Sweat. And then,
Yes.
with the tome that we picked up by the giant crabs, you can get Fire Orb, Bursting Fireball, Poison Mist, and Profuse Sweat. Which I believe is just like a better version of Flash Sweat.
Do not big. What is it?
And then off past those 2, you can get to Arena of Kareem,
Oh, I would have gone.
who is the final character. At least for now. And from her you can get Heal, Replenishment, Caressing Tears, and Homeward. And then with the first Divine Tome we picked up,
Oh, no, tell you what.
you can get Med Heal, Tears of Denial, and Force. Now, we did get a 2nd Divine Tome, but you don't want to give it to her because there's an NPC that can accept it later without consequence, and if you give it to her, there are some consequences.
Have a play.
And that's what we got for now. And that already gets you a decent chunk of the sorceries, miracles, and pyromancies before beating a single major boss. So, yeah.